Why friction is killing your website conversion rates. Hey, I'm Sam Dunning, co-owner over at webchoiceuk.com and host of the Top 100 Marketing Podcast Business Growth Show. And if you haven't done so yet, check out my weekly email where I'm sharing actionable website and marketing tips, useful podcasts, free goodies, resources, and more to kick off your week with a bang. Each and every Monday, you can sign up over at businessgrowth.email. So many of us want our website to act as our very best sales rep. We want it to convert as many great fit prospects into sales leads for ourselves if we run the business, or our sales team to close into new business and new sales revenue. So the chances are you're probably investing in maybe different channels of marketing, maybe ads, maybe you're doing SEO, maybe you're doing social media, email marketing, maybe you're doing demand gen or something else to drive these visitors to your site. So we want to convert as many as possible, as we say. So what you want to do is you want to stop visitors burning calories on your site. What do I mean by that? We want to make it as easy as possible. We want to remove all friction from our site so people can get the job they want to done super fast on your website, whether that is learning more about what you do, checking out your resources, actually make an inquiry, like giving you a call, filling out a form, booking time on a rep's calendar, downloading a white paper. We want to make it as clear as possible for what you do, how you're going to be able to help, and for people to access the info or convert on your site. So I'm going to share 6 ways to reduce that friction and drive more conversions on your website. So the first tip is page speed, making sure your website loads nice and quickly, as page speed can be the silent killer of your website conversion rate, and it can frustrate visitors if your website takes ages to load, meaning they're just going to get bored of waiting for your site to load and head to a competitor that gives them a nice and quick experience. So really you want to aim for 1 second or less as a load speed time. Some ideas to improve your website page speed can be things like not having a ton of videos on your page, or maybe making the videos that you do have as an image. So when someone clicks the image then loads the video as a pop-up. Looking to have less plugins. So if you've got tons of plugins, maybe you run a WordPress site or similar and you've got a bunch of plugins, making sure you only have the ones that you need. Keeping your website up to date. So if you're on WordPress or a similar content management system, making sure your site is up to date, making sure it's running clean code, not having loads of animations or what's called JavaScript, loads of floating banners and all that good stuff, which again can slow speed down. There's a great tool called Google Page Speed Insights where you type in your website URL and you can get your speed on mobile and desktop, and you can get a bunch of ways to improve that. So that is tip 1. Tip 2 is to make sure your website works seamlessly on all devices, so on mobile, tablet, and PC. As we've said in many past episodes, responsive design where your website merely adapts to the device it's opened on is no longer good enough. Google actually has a ranking factor that your website needs to work well on mobile. So making sure you have a nice design for mobile screens as well as larger desktop screens. So no matter what device your prospects open your site on, they can have a great experience, quickly access the info they need, and not have to zoom in, pinch the screen, scroll around, mess around to find what they're looking for, because that's just a frustration. So making sure you design your site for both mobile, possibly tablet as well as desktop. Give people the very best experience on your site, no matter what device they open it on. Thirdly, we've got your messaging and your copy on your website. So I often go by the saying, clarity is king for your site. I recommend that you avoid using jargon on your website unless it's words that your customers use day in, day out. So try not to use technical jargon that's going to confuse people if it's not something your customers are regularly saying to you on sales calls, emails, etc. As the old saying goes, if you confuse, you lose. So for example, with your website homepage, as soon as someone lands on that homepage, they see that top hero, that top banner area, they should know exactly what you do, how it's going to help them, and how to learn more or how to get in touch. You've just got a few seconds to capture people's valuable attention, especially if they're coming in cold from a Google search, from a paid ad, etc. They want to know the value you'll bring to the table, how it's going to help them, and how to learn more or contact you. So make it simple. Likewise, on your service pages, on your product pages, your feature pages, leverage those key problems that people actually care about fixing for each of the value propositions, then you can talk more about features, how each is relevant to that product, to that offering, and then you can back it up with social proof that we'll talk about in a bit, and then make it nice and easy for people to contact you. So really focus on nice and clear content, making sure you leverage problems, then go into benefits and features, and avoid jargon unless it is actually words that your customers use regularly on sales calls. Fourthly, we've got leveraging FAQs. We touched on this on your content. So what I recommend is on each of your main service pages, product pages, etc., perhaps halfway through, perhaps towards the end, you can have an FAQ section where you make a list of 5, 6, 7, 10, whatever it may be, questions that you often get asked around this particular offering. So you can meet up with your sales team. You can say, guys, what are the questions we get week in, week out around this service, around this product, around this offering? They can give you a bunch of information, and then you can answer those in detail. So you can say, look, this is how we handle this. This is how we handle this objection. You can also leverage video. So for example, on the web choice FAQs on some of our service pages, I've actually got a video that answers that exact question, typically taken from this business growth podcast. And it basically means that you can save your sales team time. You can handle those objections whilst people are actually on your website, reduce that friction, and that will actually help you get more inquiries because people aren't concerned. People are at ease with their mind because you've answered what they want to know to take them that next step to converting. At 5, we've got proof of results. So I'm sure you've probably heard on sales calls, can you ping me over your portfolio, or can you send me some case studies, or can I see some customer reviews, or can I talk to a client that you've helped? Well, to save the endless back and forth of emails to each prospect that asks this to you, why not put it clearly on your website? So you can have things like results page, which might have client testimonial videos. It might have some actual reviews. So maybe you're on G2 or maybe you're on Google reviews and you have some of those nicely put there. Maybe you have some custom reviews. So basically all the case studies of different clients, key clients that you've helped, the problem they came to you with, why they chose you, the work you did, the results you brought to the table, and why they recommend. So a nice collection of those case studies in both video, text, maybe the reviews themselves format. And what you can also do, which is quite nice, is when you mention specific features on homepage, on your service pages, etc., you can back up each feature with a relevant, tailored review that's very specific to that. So it really boosts people's confidence. And likewise, some other nice ways are on your contact or your demo page, having a key testimonial review there of someone that you've helped to basically boost confidence, boost trust, that before someone makes an inquiry, they're really confident that you can help them. And that's the whole point of social proof, of sharing your results, sharing your case studies. You're building trust. You're saving your sales team, yourself time, because people can get all that information they need to be able to trust you as a vendor to help them from your website. And lastly, we've got make it easy for prospects to speak to your sales team. So often people have their preferred method of communication, whether that is email, call, old school face-to-face, Zoom meeting, live chat, whatever it may be. The point I'm getting at is that not everyone wants to go down a specific funnel. So if you're only giving people one option to speak to sales, you might turn other prospects off and they might head to a competitor. So if you give them different options, whether it is a click to call you in your fixed menu nav bar that's on your mobile and your PC, so no matter where someone is on the page, they can give you a call, or if you've got the fixed book a demo or contact us option, that perhaps opens your contact page where people can book time on a calendar. So maybe you've got multiple sales reps and you want the calendar inquiries, the calendar bookings to route through to the right sales rep instantly. You might use a tool like Chili Piper, who actually sponsor our show. Or maybe you want to give people the option to email you direct, so they can just click an email and draft an email to you. Or maybe you've got a live chat, so they can have a live convo with your sales rep. The point I'm getting at is give people the option to communicate with you on their chosen channel, and that's going to help reduce that friction, reduce frustration, and drive more inquiries longer term to your team through your website. And there you have it. I hope these 6 tips have given you some ideas on how you can reduce friction on your website and increase that all-important conversion rate to drive more quality sales leads your way. As always, if you found this episode of use, a quick subscribe if you're on YouTube, or a rating if you're on the audio podcast goes a long way and is very much appreciated. And I shall see you on the next episode. Cheers.